see what stage you're in. A lot of people about to get into a lot of debt this summer for some 4-day, 7-day, 10-day vacations that's going to take them a year or more to pay off. And I ain't saying that to judge you, to throw no shots at you, because I've done it myself. We all say and think the same thing. We're going to pay it on the credit card. We're going to use a buy now, pay later, and we're just going to make the payments on it. I remember about 7-8 years ago, I went crazy on the credit card. I booked the flights, hotel, the whole vacation was financed. And of course, in my mind, I'm finna pay it right back. But boy, I was making the minimum monthly payments, and probably took me almost 2 years to pay it off. And probably paid $1,000 or more back in interest. So what I am here to say and encourage is to set up some sinking funds, fam. Be organized and plan accordingly. That alone will eliminate so much stress, so much financial stress, the mental stress that come with it, and just accruing all that debt. We know every year we want to pop out for the summer. We know every year our birthday coming, Christmas is coming, school shopping is coming. We know these things. So let's start planning for it in advance. Set you up some accounts specifically for the summer, specifically for birthdays and any kind of occasions, events, or activities. Still pay for it on the credit card because we want to maximize and optimize those reward points and that cash back, but already have it paid for and funded in a sinking funds account. So that way when that credit statement come back, you already got the money to pay that off in full. These are the type of things we talk about in our Blaze tier inside the Academy, where we optimize and maximize all our dollars. But we have 4 tiers in total, where you start where you at and gradually progress into the next tier. If that's something you sound like you're interested in, comment the word Academy and I'll send you over a link to take a free financial assessment to see what stage you're in. A lot of people about to...
So let's outline that again. He said that's something that he used to do. And by used to do, he was referring to the fact that he used to basically finance vacations. And he financed one vacation that he could recall that it actually took him 2 years to pay back, probably a vacation that was only a couple days. Only a couple days, and it took him 2 years to pay it back, as well as there was $1,000 surcharge in the form of interest. And it's crazy because when I come across guys like this, I know it has to either be one of two things. It either has to be there's something in their brain that didn't fully develop as a man. When I come across men like this, because as men, we're usually pretty good at managing, especially when it's the context of our hard-earned money. And we're not usually so inclined to feel the need to have to spend on everything. Men are not the biggest consumers. It's usually women. Usually they will do those type of crazy things just in order to go through an experience. So ultimately, it has to be either something wrong in his wiring, or the second thing is it was possibly nurtured into him to be that way, i.e., somehow in his development growing up, not his development internally, biologically, but his development as far as how he was raised, he now feels the need to be a consumer. And I usually see this a lot of times with guys who are more so nurtured by society. And what I mean is, to encapsulate it perfectly and simply, they're trying to be a vibe in order to impress or in order to get certain outcomes from a lustful standpoint. So I think that could be the case as well, but they're making bad long-term decisions in order just to have a good time, to be a vibe, which I feel like as a man, you're supposed to have a more long-term vision, a more long-term view, and you're supposed to be able to prioritize more effectively, at least with the standpoint of keeping that long-term view in range. And so when you see something like that, I feel like there's something wrong with him. And I'm hoping it's the second thing as far as nurture, because that's much more easy in order to correct. But if it's just something where he's just wired in an impulsive way, then he may need somebody to manage his affairs for him, which is ultimately going to be a direct reflection of the type of leadership that he would be able to operate in, because you need to be managed. So how can you lead or manage anything? So he may need a woman to be the leader of his relationship if he's not able to keep things in their proper perspective and in their proper order. Y'all, before we get into the next clip, if you could like the video, I greatly appreciate it. Only takes a second, and it actually helps out more than you know. And also, if you could hype.
Some of us have trips on payment plans. We have vacations.
Her caption says vacay on layaway.
Some of us have trips on payment plans. We have vacations that we're putting a couple $100s on every month, every other month, so we can get out the country, okay, guys? That's how we're traveling like that. A little. Some of us have trips.
Hey y'all, so look, Affirm is my favorite. Out of all of them so far,
no.
Affirm got me the highest buying power the quickest. So something that Affirm does is they give you different buying power for different companies. So this is for Expedia. They give me $6,990 buying power with 0% APR, right? So then, oh my God, my son. So that means no interest for 6 months, okay? For 6 payments, excuse me. It depends on which payment plan you choose, but it does look like this one has a 6-month plan. My actual buying power is about $4,500. It could be more because I have some open loans out, but let's just say I'm at about 5K. I got there so quickly. I have not had my Affirm account long. Now Affirm does go based off credit, so if you're being told no for Affirm, then there's something on your credit, and you need to click the link in my bio and use the same place that I use to monitor my credit and know exactly what's on all 3 bureaus. Okay.
So let's examine this. Ignore what she said. Let's examine this actual photo that was screenshotted. You can see here that within the app, it looks like she's exploring what her purchasing power can get her. And it looks like it even has direct options to just go ahead and book trips. I think that is the Experian logo, which is a travel booking platform, I believe. It looks like she has $7,000 in order to be able to spend on travel. Just that easy. It's so easy. They even have integrations with all the major travel apps in order to make it very seamless, very frictionless. But if we come down a little bit, it's telling you it's 0% APR, which they're going to get their money one way or the other. So whether that's in the form of whether you're late, whatever it looks like, trust me, they're getting, I think the way that the Affirm and Klarna platforms, which if you don't know what those are buy now, pay later applications. I think the way that they get paid is actually off the percentages of the processing. And as well as, of course, if you're late, then they can really start hitting you over the head. And I think that's when the interest rates are actually much more. But they gave an example here of a $1,500 purchase. And basically what you would end up doing is you would end up having 6 payments of $250 a month. So you would break it up like that. So this is only $1,500. I don't even want to explore if she used the entire 7,000, how they would break that down. But this is how it works. And so what you would ultimately end up doing is just to spend $1,500, you would end up paying that back over the course of 6 months. That makes sense to y'all? What would make much more sense to me and be much more feasible for me is just for me to do this same thing, the payment plan, do it on the front end. And what I mean is, how about you just save preemptively so that when you actually purchase it, then you actually purchase it and then you don't owe anything? Why don't you do it on the front end where it will require a little bit of sacrifice as opposed on the back end to where now you've already gone on the trip, but you're still paying for it. So now you're like, what am I even paying for this for? I've already experienced the trip, but it's still affecting me presently. And I don't care about it anymore. Maybe you didn't even have fun on the trip. Maybe it rained on the trip. That's why you should just be able to pay for it in advance. So there's no resentment on the back end, in my opinion.
I just went on a vacation, which is so controversial.
Her caption says, went on vacation while in debt.
I just went on a vacation, which is so controversial when you're paying off debt. But you know what? There is a thing called balance. There's a thing called balance. And I truthfully believe that you should be able to live your life still and pay off your debt. Because for me, okay, I went to Vegas and I went to go see Millennium. Best concert of my life. Oh my God. Insane. If you're able to go to the Sphere and go see a DJ at the Sphere, insane, you guys. Literally insane. Anyway, besides the point. But I truthfully believe that you should be able to go and enjoy your life. Why? Why be upset? Why be sad? Why be depressed and paying off debt? No. You should be able to live your life and have fun, but it is about a balance, and you definitely have to save money for it, and you have to be responsible about it. Don't be putting vacations on credit cards. I mean, I did for the points, but paid it off. Truthfully, I'm gonna still enjoy my life, but you got to be responsible about it, you know? I just went on a vacation, which is so controversial when you're...
She said you got to be responsible for it. We're going to move on. By responsible.
Just getting
Oh, hers says, let's chat. Mom of 3 stressing about summer travels while paying off debt. I'm very interested to see what she has to say. But real quick, the other person said, you just have to do it responsibly. Why are we trying to get away from what the responsibility actually is? The true responsibility would just be to go without until you've paid off the debt. That will require sacrifice, and that is the mature and responsible thing to do. So that's all I'm going to say. We can get into the next clip. But I just wanted to make sure that we correct that, because that is the actual responsible thing to do. It's called delayed gratification. People understand this in the context of getting a degree, but then after that, it all falls through the window and they don't understand delayed gratification in any other aspect of their life after that.
Ready for the day and thinking about summer. We have a few fun things planned for the summer, but it's the first summer that we're really focusing on our debt payoff. And so I'm having this internal battle of where's the line between having fun and making memories this summer with my family and being smart and continuing to throw as much money as we can at our debt. I would love to know what you guys have done through your debt payoff summers. Thankfully, it is going to be more of a low-key summer for us. Sometimes our summers are like just super packed, but this one miraculously is not. But there are a few things that we have planned. I want to be excited about them, but currently they're stressing me out more than they're exciting me. We definitely still want to give our kids a fun summer and make memories, but we need to do it in a really smart way. My husband has donated plasma a few times this last month to help us save up for these trips. We plan to look for and find a bunch of free things to do that will be fun, but when it comes to doing things that cost money, how have you handled those? I am someone who gets major FOMO. I always want to be everywhere, doing everything with everyone. I don't like missing out, but I have a feeling there might be some things this summer that we just have to miss out on. Here's another easy identifier that we are paying off debt. This is my old mascara, and it is currently acting as my brow gel because it's mostly dried out. And then I take this actual brow gel, which is completely bone dry, and I just use it as the brush. It works quite well if I do say so myself. Anyway, thanks for getting ready with me, and let me know your thoughts on traveling while paying off debt. I'm just getting ready for
I think what we really just need to do is reevaluate what we actually need. She said, let's break this down to the root. She said that this is all predicated on the desire to build memories with her family and with her children. Why is that so fixed? And by fixed, I mean, why have you correlated that the only way to build memories with your family and your children is if it is in a destination location, on a trip, doing all the commercial things that you could possibly do that's ultimately just marketed to you by a company? And that's why you now view it as something essential. You all can go to the park and have a picnic, and that would be a memory. You all could do something in the house, and you can still make it memorable. You could have a movie night and you can go to Party City and get all the whimsical candy and watch the new Mortal Kombat movie and make it fun, and maybe get them a Mortal Kombat costume. There's so many things if you just be a little creative, and then you can have your cake and eat it too. And by have your cake and eat it too, I mean You all can build memories. You can take pictures. You can have a nice experience. And you can also still make sure that you're being truly responsible by paying off your debt and not going further in debt or just ignoring the debt altogether just in order to have short lived fun. That's what you need to call it. Stop calling it memories. Stop calling it all this. It's really just short lived fun. You just want to have fun. That's what it is. And you need to reevaluate what can be fun. You can have fun in more simple ways. And if you really start looking at things through that lens, I think you'll find that you can actually have fun every single day if you reevaluate how you define it.
In exactly 1 month from now, I will.
Her caption says 35K in debt, but prep with me for a vacation. The description says trying to enjoy life while also drowning in debt.
In exactly 1 month from now, I will officially be outside of the country. But AKA, if you guys didn't know, I'm 35K in debt from student loans, and I decided to book a trip to Thailand to hopefully try and become a content creator out here and pursue my dreams. So
wow.
yeah, flights already booked, but unfortunately I do not have a suitcase because I've never really traveled outside of the country ever. I've literally never even been outside of my hometown. So I need to go and find a suitcase. So why don't I bring you guys along? Okay, we decided to hit up Costco because I feel like Costco always has really good deals going on. Hopefully they have good deals for suitcases because that's what I'm here for. Hello, how are you? Good, thank you. Thank you. Welcome. I just realized that it's December 1st, which means that there's actually a lot of good deals going on right now. Oh my gosh, I'm getting distracted right now. I did not come here to get anything else. Meeting a new Sherpa, and these ones are $24.99. They have a green. Ooh, I really like this color here, but it seems like I kind of want a medium and they only have smalls left. And ooh, oh my gosh, do you see that? There's like a chocolate brown one back here. This one's kind of cute. I kind of like it, but is there mediums? It seems like they only have smalls available. I'm sad. It's okay. I didn't need it anyways. We found.
So let's reevaluate what she said at the beginning. It sounds like she's about to take a leap of faith, a big one. A big one. There's no in between, there's no middle ground with a lot of people. So you're drowning in debt. And your idea is to go to Thailand and try to become a content creator. I guess because she has a little bit of motion on her thing, a little bit. When I say a little bit, she has a little under 24K on TikTok, and she has about 2.5 million likes. And she has a few viral videos that she's pretty much pinned at the top. So her most viral video is 6.1 million, but they're very few and far between. And a lot of her videos, it appears to average at about 3 or 4,000 views per video. And so now I think what she's thinking is that the location is going to do all the heavy lifting as far as her content. By being in a cool location, that's about to start making her content pop. And it looks like she actually went to Thailand. And I'm looking at her videos because you remember she said that was back in December. So she's been in Thailand and it really hasn't been that big of a pop as far as her content. I highly doubt that she was able to. I highly doubt that she's been able to really make that much of a living by being in Thailand. But here's where I will give her credit if this is what she's doing. Where I will give her credit is if she is already having a job where it's bringing in income and she's making money and she's deciding to go to a lower cost of living country in order to ultimately keep more. Maybe she has a remote job, maybe she's in corporate, but in order to keep more of what she makes, which I highly doubt that would be feasible because if I'm not mistaken, the time difference in Thailand is insane. So when it would be like 2 p.m. here, or 2 p.m. here, it would be like, I don't know, 2 a.m. there, for lack of better words. So I don't see how that would sufficiently allow you to be able to work a job. Of all places, I don't think you would choose Thailand. I think just the trip to get down there is very long. Very long. I don't want to missay, but it's going to definitely be over 10 hours just to fly down there. It might even be 20. So I hope it works out. But unless she has some type of job that is supplementing her income, I don't think that was the right thing to do. I think she should have knocked out the debt first. And then once you get the debt gone, then you can go and live however you want to live. But by you not doing it, that interest doesn't just stop. We don't have to keep watching her shop for a suitcase. We're going to move on.
I just made another loan to
The caption says she took out a loan to go on vacation.
cover a credit card so we could go on our trip.
Oh my. Okay.
Okay.
And I didn't tell
What do you
him.
mean? Wait, why doesn't he get to know that? Why are we doing that without his knowledge?
Oh.
He thought you were pulling from an emergency fund. Not that that's even better, but actually, no, you said the trip was pre-planned.
I was gonna tell him.
But you didn't, so I don't give a you didn't.
Well, no, I didn't tell him.
Huh?
I didn't tell him.
Why?
Because I was going to.
But you
I
didn't.
just didn't want him to stress about our trip.
But now you're stressing about the trip, even though the trip is already done because you've borrowed on it and now you have to pay it off. You borrowed, you opened it, you took out a loan. What kind of loan?
Sir, I need you to be madder than the dude that's grilling your chick. She just says she lied to you. Does this dude seem like he's mad or upset or that? See, that's why she lied to you, because she don't respect you. Because this is how you react when you discover that she lied to you. You're not upset. And you're really not even looking surprised. So I highly doubt it's going to stop because she doesn't even seem remorseful.
What?
Okay.
No, Upstart was the loan I took for the card. Upstart, yeah. I took that out to pay off a credit card that was maxed out so that we could have spending on the card.
Oh my.
That has nothing to do with the vacation.
Well, then what are you talking about? Because that just contradicted your whole thing. I'm confused too. What are you saying?
So, yeah, we did finance the vacation that we just took.
From what? On what?
It's like the pre-planned, like a firm, like one of those. It's called Uplift.
Oh no!
So Uplift
you took
and
a loan
Upstart
to pay off a credit card.
Yeah, they're both two. I have both loans, an Upstart and Uplift.
And which one did you know about, and which one did you not, or neither? Why? When? When did you do this?
The last week of the month before our trip.
What month?
September.
Okay. The last week of September.
Yes.
You did this.
Yes, I got a loan out and paid off a credit card that was maxed out.
Yeah. Why? But like, why? Because that just. It's got my name too on it, or is it
No,
just
it's
yours?
mine.
Because
it's just mine.
it affects us both, and that is not really a good
you
feeling to
never,
have
like-
that go behind my back.
She don't know. She don't know.
Yeah.
But
I didn't think you. I think you would understand why I did it, so I didn't figure you were going to be mad.
I haven't heard one sorry.
well,
I haven't
Understand
heard one
why
sorry.
you did it. You did it for the vacation.
Correct.
And are you mad?
See, this is why sometimes you have to have a third party when you're dealing with your lady, because if not, he'll leave the conversation thinking he did something wrong. But you have this third party who's no, that doesn't make sense. See, sometimes you can't just say it. It's very manipulative and it's very much gaslighting, and she's not remorseful. Again, which shows the lack of respect that she has for this person. But really, the initial action to begin with showed the lack of respect because she didn't think of consequences to begin with when she decided to do something that had implications on them both. Because the way that he's reacting, it seems like they're either married or they are fiancé. So I'm hoping you're not married, because if you're fiance, then that could be a great indication of something that you needed to see early. And that may be also an indication that you need to pump your brakes. Because if it's like this at the beginning, don't expect it to get better.
Yeah, I'll say, Matt, I'm pretty disappointed. That's kind of a big thing. I thought we were low on funds, during the month because we were taking out to pay for a trip instead of.
I just like pulled from made another loan to cover.
I am 13,000
The caption says, I am 13K in credit card debt and just booked a flight for a vacation.
$1,000 in credit card debt, and I just booked a flight for a vacation. And I have a mix of feelings about it. On one hand, I'm incredibly excited because I love solo traveling. I really picked it up in the past couple of years, and I have not solo traveled in 2 years since I've started to get a handle on my finances. But on the other hand, I'm like, was that the most financially responsible decision? And depending on who you ask, the answer is going to be very polarizingly different. We've even sat here talking to this camera, talking about how you should not be paying for flights while you are in debt. But it's not just like a thing, right? I'm not just buying like clothes or jewelry or shoes, whatever. It's like an experience. And obviously, only people who enjoy traveling are going to agree with me. Other people are going to be like, you are dumb. But I'm very excited. And I am.
So basically, you're saying you live in an echo chamber and you really only are receptive to ideas and information that agrees with your current philosophy. Only people who make bad decisions and do solo traveling and value experiences are going to agree with me. Why don't you say only irresponsible people like myself are going to agree with me? But you notice she likes to spice up words, and she likes to enhance it and make it sound good, but it can sound as good as you want, ma'am. You're still going to have to bear the actual logistical outcomes, and you're ultimately going to have to deal with this. You're going to have to deal with this. See, you're not as fortunate as that other woman. See, she and him are going to have to deal with that, even though she lied. No, you're going to have to deal with this. You're going to have to deal what comes behind this, the interest, the time lost, the time spent working just to be paying off invisible money in the form of interest, just for an experience that'll be gone. Just for an experience that you'll no longer be able to enjoy. So I hope every time you're working, you're looking at those pictures and it hits as if you're still there. But we all know that that's not going to be the case, right?
Nervous. I'm not gonna lie, I'm nervous because I am like, I probably shouldn't be putting any money towards traveling. I should be working on paying off my debt. And I am. If you follow along and you've seen my videos, you know that I am. It's also just like weird because I told myself I wasn't going to travel until I have 10 grand saved for my mom's African safari trip. And I don't have 10 grand saved yet for my mom's African safari trip. And I was just on the phone with her, like, should I book the flight? And obviously I couldn't tell her about the African safari trip because that's a surprise for her. But yeah, so this summer I will be traveling for a week to Guatemala. I'm sure I will post many, many videos about my week.
She don't even know how to keep commitments that she makes to herself and even to other people. Why would you have 13,000 in credit card debt and then go and tell your mom that you're going to pay for her a $10,000 African safari trip? If you'd have took the 10,000 and then you didn't even fulfill it, so you couldn't even save the 10K because you're still wanting to take your solo trips for yourself. Had you have been disciplined enough to save the 10K, then you could have actually just paid off the lion's share of your debt And then you'd have been so much closer, and it would have probably incentivized you to just go ahead and keep going and knock out the other 3K that you would have had left. And then you'd have been able to do whatever you want. And it would have also showed you that you could save 13K. And so you would say, well, if I can save this in order to pay off this debt, then I can save this in order to pay for trips moving forward. But people chose the easier road. And what they're going to find is you're choosing the easier road, but that's going to come with long-term hardship moving forward. So we're going to leave it there for today, y'all. If you could like the video, I greatly appreciate it. Only takes a second, and it actually helps out more than you know. And also, if you could hype the video, hype is a new feature that YouTube offers where it helps smaller content creators like myself. And basically, when you hype, it actually pushes us to the extent that it pushes the larger content creators. So you just press the hype button and it shows the points. And since I'm a smaller creator, a smaller channel, we get more points per hype. And hype was designed for smaller channels, so that's why we get more points. But if you come across a video and it's been over 7 days, then you will probably no longer see the hype button. And that's because hype usually vanishes after 7 days. So for that reason, it's usually best practice to just go ahead and hype while the iron is hot if you want to hype. And then also you should see that join button if you want to become a member of the channel. And what becoming a member of the DXU family will come with is you would get badges next to your comments, so other people will be able to see that you are a member. And then also you would get early access to content as well as exclusive content. So again, if you want to become a member, then you can press the join button right there. But again, I will see you all in the next video.